Welcome in, race fans, to another edition of In the Dirt. I'll be your host. This is Webb Dillard. Hope everybody had a good Father's Day. The racing is plumb gotten out of control. Hell Tour is underway. Moyer Jr. got him a few wins. Without further ado,
Webb Dillard, I had a heck of a weekend, dude.
Yeah, I heard you guys got a top 5.
Hey, well, coming back from not being out for a month and getting a top 5 against, Cody Mahoney bringing the Masterbuilt house car down, and Jeremy Hines is pretty awesome. Beat out Mr. Barry Doss, last year's track champion. So we got around some good cars. So we had a good night racing, but I went and seen the Rock of Ages on Saturday, put my eyeliner on and leather pants. It was awesome, dude. And then went to the Kings Island yesterday and met up with my boys Jody and Matt and Wade. How about that?
Yeah, I haven't been to Kings Island in a very long time, but do they have a ride still called the Vortex?
Yeah, they still got that out there, and they got this really sick deal, like it's some kind of fast lane pass. And dude, it's like $30. And you can just, skip all the lines and go right and get on everything.
Now, I do love some roller coasters, but there is a better place in the state of Ohio than Kings Island.
Cedar Point.
Cedar Point is the baddest mamma jamma on tracks.
By far.
I love Cedar. And it's been at least a decade since I've been to Cedar Point. But they had DJs in each line. So if they would have had a margarita stand or a daiquiri stand plus a DJ, hands down, there wasn't no place to touch that.
Oh, dude. So how was things down the Alabama way?
Huh. Well, right now it says we're getting just silence. Well, let's see here. Let's. Everything's going good out here. I had the weekend off due to Father's Day, and
Did you lose everything again?
No, hey, we're back. One of my listeners is out there telling me couldn't hear us. Now we're back. Okay, we're back again.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I had a chance to go to the up to Knoxville to the Southern All-Star event, and I actually forgot that it was on a quote-unquote schedule, I guess. But Rigsby and I talk so much when it comes to when I go on jobs, that I usually don't have to refer to the schedule. Well, it's Father's Day coming up. I'm telling the wife and child, hey, yeah, I'm going to be here. And then my good friend, one of my good friends put on Facebook that I was going to be filming at Smoky Mountain. I go, huh. So I had to figure out if I was going or not. And it just turned out it wasn't it really was. They thought that we had a Neesmith event there, so that we thought it was going to be a coinciding deal. So,
okay.
Anyhow, I enjoyed the time home with my little girl. She made me about 14,000 boxes of gifts made of paper, pencils, and googly eyes. So it was a pretty good Father's. And I should have already had one, but my wife got me a handheld cordless drill. How about that?
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why I hadn't had one. I guess my old school. I use a screwdriver, I guess, and drink them.
Yep.
But
yeah.
Anyway, let's move on a little bit down the line here. Let's go ahead and bring in our other.
I was a few minutes late.
Yeah,
You're all right, dude.
I was on the phone with somebody else, and I was like, man, I think it's past time for me to be on the show. So.
No, your correct answer would have been I'm 21 and I'm hungover.
No, that's not right, though.
That's not right.
Monday.
What's wrong with drinking on Monday?
Because it comes after Sunday, Webb.
Yeah. If the day that we're on rhymes with Fun Day, then it's a day you can drink beer on. So Sunday, Fun Day, Monday, Fun Day. This message brought to you by the Coors Light Brewing Company.
Webb, Kyle's dad had an interesting weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still excited about it in a way, but mad at the same time.
Did he try to jump the concession stand again down at Al's?
Hey, man, it was. You would have thought that's what was about to happen. And I thought we were witnessing. And it was Saturday night. I thought we were witnessing a Dale Earnhardt Jr. Losing streak in Marty May there. I thought it was about to happen, but it didn't. It didn't pan out. Just some bad luck came around right at the end. Right at about midway through the race. So I'm pretty hot about it, but it's part of it.
What fell apart?
The hub broke. Like, you know how it's got the 5, looks like a star or whatever, and where the lug nuts bolt to it. All 5 of them broke off at one time while he was going through the corner. So he was leading. I mean, he was putting a hurting on him to be an old man in an old race car. I mean, it's like a '99 GRT with like them old Teflon bird cages and pro oil shocks and like a wood steering wheel.
He was putting an old school ass whooping on him.
It was ugly. I mean, it was ugly too, because some other guys was like running in there and swinging in the corner, looked like me driving, and just you could hear their car screaming, and then you could hear Teddy come by, he's like, whoa, and you could hear him just pat the gas a little bit, and it would just try to jump when he would go, and he was hurting him pretty bad. And,
now you were
corner.
So he broke.
Yeah, he broke.
He broke, and so he did not end his streak.
Right. He was leading the race. I think there was like 18 limited cars there, and he was leading, and broke a hub. So,
if you had to guess, and without saying it, if it's really bad, but if you had to guess, what do you think Marty's first words were? I mean, if it's too bad, don't say it.
Well, when he said he didn't know what happened. Like when he come off the racetrack, somebody told him that we forgot to tighten the lug nut. And then I think he said some words then that I probably shouldn't mention. But I knew when it happened. I knew what happened because them hubs were old. I think they might have even been wooden. They were so old. And
what you should have said as a good son, Dad, nothing happened, dude. You just drove the wheels off this bitch.
Yeah, that's what I was mad, and at the same time I was excited because he was doing so good up until that point. And people were staring, and I was like, "Yeah, this is what happened. We didn't forget to tighten the lug nuts. Throw the wheels off. That's what happened, people."
Now, tell me you got to see Hollingsworth incident, because Ronnie Lee Hollingsworth was down there, and I heard he messed up a race car there in Turn 3 at Green Valley.
Yeah, I'm not even. I caught it. I caught it about midway through. I didn't see what caused it, but I think it was just a mistake made on the racetrack. I don't think that. I think it was just an honest mistake. I think he got in maybe too high, and obviously if you go into turn too high in Turn 3 at Green Valley, you're ruining a race car. So he just got up over the wall. I'd have seen him hitting the wall, and then his car came to a stop, and I knew it was probably bad. So.
Well, and then you had your own race there, I guess, at Green Valley, and you guys, how'd you guys do?
Well, we have the worst drawing luck of anybody in the world. I just want you to know that because there's 300 numbers in the bag. I let my buddy draw because I've been drawing terrible, and he draws like a 256. So that started us putting last in the second heat race. That put us starting 8th, and we finished 7th, so I started 14th in the feature, and I finished 8th in the feature. And the top 8 cars were the 8 cars that was in my heat race. So I was in a pretty fast heat race.
Well, at least you didn't tear anything up, I read.
I don't think I heard anything. I think I got a wheel mark maybe on the right front nose where I was trying to maybe pass a car, this and that, but nothing major.
And then you mentioned Junior. I mean, we're going to cover everything talking to you, but I mentioned Junior on Facebook today, and people lost their damn minds.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not make comments? Blind squirrel finds a nut. I mean.
I said that mass confusion has struck the nation. I'm pretty sure somebody pulled a gun on me.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a joke. I mean, it's good. It's good that he won. I mean, I'm happy for him. I'm not making fun, and I mean, I am making fun, but I mean, it's good that he won. I don't mean any harm by it, you know.
No, but it's Monday, right? So that means he's already one day into his next losing streak.
Yeah, that's what I think that was the funniest.
I didn't think we were ever going to see him win again.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, he's gotten close and just fell off so many times, and then the other day, yesterday he just owned them. Tony Stewart was even upset about it.
Local racer to here to the state of Alabama, Bruce Griffith said it best when he said that Hendricks got him just to sell some T-shirts, because I bet you anything, them junior T-shirts sell like hotcakes, and on that sleeve it's got Hendricks on the sleeve.
Oh, yeah. So the nation was already huge, the junior nation, and I think they had kind of slacked off, but it's going to be in full swing. It's going to be horrendous.
So it'll probably be a sellout at every racetrack from now on until the end of the season.
Yeah, just because he made the comment. They said, "When are you going to win again?" He said, "Next week." So people are going to believe it.
There's comments there to be made, but I'm just not going to make those comments.
Dude, he might win next week.
At where, Sonoma?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think that's where it is. I don't follow the asphalt guys.
Yeah.
Anyhow, tonight on the program...
all I know is that he's not going to be winning at Eldora anytime soon.
Yeah. I don't know. If you can go race a Corvette somewhere, certainly you can come strap into a late model, right?
Well, I would think so.
I mean, if Danica can do it, I mean, really.
Maybe he's a little concerned.
Did you just call him a wuss?
Hmm?
Did you just call him a wuss but use the word concerned in its place?
I wouldn't say that I called him a wuss, but I wouldn't say that I didn't.
We're going to get some emails on this one. All right, well, tonight on the program, we're going to have we got Moon to come on here in a minute, so Jim Moon's going to hold. He's still leading the points. He's racked up a big lead still. Misty Moore, she's on hold. She is the winner of the $300 that turned into a $400 compact race at Florence. Robbie Hensley and his company chipped in another $100. The DRC put up the money. The $300 will have her on in a second. Chris Tilley's going to be on here in about 15 minutes. Then we're going to have Ross Martin on. He's a driver out of Talladega, running the 525 motor that Moon has talked a lot about, that we've talked a lot about. Craig Reese is going to be on. He's coming off 2 victories over the weekend in North Georgia, Dixie, and he'll be on to talk to him. He's in the Capital too, so he'll be give us some insight on the Capital race car and maybe talk to us a little bit about what he's hearing from Marshall Green and Clanton after they win the big money at the Dream. And also we got Kevin Kovac coming on at 7 Central, at 8 Eastern, to talk about the UMP Hell Tour. So let's go to let's bring on Miss Misty Moore real quick. Miss Moore, welcome to the program.
Hi, well, thank you.
So are you still basking in the glow of your first career win?
Yes. Yeah.
And the biggest compact race at Florence Speedway so far, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest pay for the feature yet.
So for those of us who weren't there at Florence, tell us a little bit about the class there. How many cars were there? What was the race like? And how did you find yourself in victory lane?
There's about 20 cars that showed up. Biggest night, since it paid $400. It was a awesome feeling. I went out for my heat race, got first place in my heat race, started on the inside pole, right next to Kyle Purdy. It was an awesome feeling. It was awesome to take a win home.
Now,
she's still blown away with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Kyle's been on our show before. Kyle Purdy has. How many times did you hit him in his door and yell at him, "Woohoo, I'm a girl"?
About 2 or 3 times. Down in 3 and 4. He was right at my door.
So you weren't giving him nothing, was you?
No, I wasn't. Every time I went, every lap around, I had to go on just a little harder to keep him from getting me.
So was this your first race ever, or just your first win?
First win.
Okay, so how long have you been racing?
This was actually my dad, Dana Moore. He races pure stock class at Florence Speedway, and he bought the car for me. We've had a few weekends trying to get it straightened out. It hadn't been running good. We had a fuel pressure switch that was causing it to run bad. So he surprised me this year with the car. It was my first year, running in a class. I have ran at Florence and Lawrenceburg in the Powder Puff race, but this is my first actual year in a class, so very exciting.
So
hopefully many more wins in the future.
And this is a compact class. So what kind of a car are you driving around the circuit there?
It's a Ford Escort.
And is there anything special you do to it? Is it just stock? I mean, do you roll cage?
It's stock.
She just stopped at stock, Webb.
She can't give all her secrets away.
Yeah. There's a few things I think we're going to try out, give a little more horsepower.
Actually, Webb, I think, and not to steer you wrong or anything, but I believe that the front row in that feature was a all-girl front row.
Yeah, absolutely. Ashley Landrum started on the outside pole of me.
I mean, that's great. I mean, did any of the younger girls at the racetrack, fan-wise, come out and talk to y'all after the race?
Yeah, well, I had quite a few fans come down to get pictures, and it was just an awesome experience. I hope to have many more to come. So.
Well, all right. Well, we certainly congratulate you on your first career win, and you guys will be racing at Florence the rest of the season, or are you going to be going to different tracks?
We go to a couple other ones. We're going to try going to Moeller. Looks like DRC is going to try to pull a big, feature win for her. So hopefully we'll go to that one. And then we race at Lawrenceburg when Florence don't run. So.
And, of course, DRC, Dirt Racing Connection, Jody Shannon and his guys are big supporters of grassroots racing to the compact level. Well, Miss Misty, I appreciate you joining us this evening. Before I let you go, thank some of your sponsors and maybe your car owner.
I want to just thank Dana Moore, Shade Tree Motorsports. He's it. That's my dad. He put me in it, and he's the reason why I'm out there every weekend. So I just want to thank my dad, Dana Moore.
Well, good luck with the rest of your season, Misty, and we'll be looking out for you, man. Maybe we'll get you on again after you'll get a big win at the King of the Compact.
All righty. Thank
Misty,
you so much.
Not a problem, Miss Misty Moore. That's pretty cool to have to get drivers on with their first win, especially. Let's bring Moon on real quick, 'cause I know he's been waiting patiently. It's the Moon Show.
Dude, I completely missed that. I was busy mounting a new seat after racing on some racetrack yesterday that wasn't so racy.
You're free to mention it. I'm not going to censor you.
Oh, no, I can't. They're good people. They just had an inch and a half of rain and thought it was a good idea, then decided after they flipped to modified that maybe we should do a little bit more track prep.
So it broke the seat out of the car?
No, it did not break the seat, but I'm telling you, I could put up an extra 100 pounds and get in the seat that I was using. I started last night. It actually fit me. So I think with Shannon, Joey is, he gets that seat now. In fact, I'm donating it to him.
Jim, I'm gonna ask you to walk around somewhere where you got better reception, brother.
Can you hear?
Yeah, we heard it was it went something like this. We would it went.
You did a good impression of that. Let me go outside and shop in the heat. Okay, so anyway, I was on a racetrack last night. So rough that we could fit Jody Shannon in that seat now.
It doesn't sound like you had much of a seat in there then.
Look.
Dude, are you one of them guys still using one of them old outdated seats with a plastic headrest?
No, not like that. Really, I'm 210, 210 pounds of loving. And I should have got me a petite 118 in there with me too now in that seat.
How tall are you? How tall are you at 210?
6 foot.
You're not quite a bowling ball. I said anyway.
He's just got perfect size to bounce him off the ground.
Well, So how was your guys' weekend? I heard somebody went canoeing with their kids or something. Oh, that was what I was supposed to do today. What'd you do with your daughter over the weekend?
We just kind of hung out. We went swimming here at the pool, and here at the In the Dirt Studios. We got, it's fancy. We got a Kmart above the ground pool. It's real fancy. We got it right before it shut down. But she made me all these pictures, and she must have given me 14 different boxes. I mean, no, the same box, but it had 14 different gifts in it. Basically just hung out. We cooked ribs yesterday. I mean,
you got to cherish that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
They grow up before you know it.
That's right. She's 6, and I don't even want. I need to stay in my safe place, Moon. I don't need to think about 10 years from now. I'm killing people.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I
you
think
guys,
it's abused. At least mine did a little bit. So
she's
still not allowed to date till she's 40, but
Yeah, I think I got the same rules you got.
Yeah.
Now, so you guys are still up in the points. I just checked them, and the 4M is just going nuts about.
Well, now they're confused because last week, I got my win at Montgomery County and I didn't beat nobody because there's only 13 cars there. Well, now I won at Belleville on Friday night, and there was 24 cars there. So, but there was no one there.
I was going to bring that up. I was going to say they're a little schizophrenic now.
Yeah, and there was no one there. Oh, but if you go look at the results, never mind. I won't even get into it. I want to know what they're going to do. Heaven forbid, that come the second week in October, and I'm still leading the deal. I want to know what the excuse would be then. I was a cherry picker.
Probably, aren't you?
I'm not good at picking cherries. Matter of fact, at my age, it's best to stay away from cherries.
Yeah, you might get Stone Phillips in a meeting somewhere.
Maybe, yeah.
That was a bad joke. Sorry.
I was leaving it alone, but that's okay.
Yes, let's back up from that one. So you guys took a few days off from the actual Hell Tour, and you went off the beaten path.
I did what I said I was going to do. I'm going to run the Hell Tour stuff during Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm going to run my stuff that I've been running on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, not an indictment. Just saying.
Yeah. No, it ain't cherry picking. I mean, come on. People need to get a clue about where I'm at. I got a 5:25. I mean, I beat Brad Neat and Don O'Neill in my heat race.
Wait a second. Listen, okay, I understand you.
Dude, Don O'Neill didn't even make the show, Webb.
Nor did I, but he was behind me.
I'm not mad at Don O'Neill, but, who hasn't beat Brad Neat?
That's the first time I ever raced him. I thought he was Scotty Bloomquist's second brother, and he was the third coming of Christ, and evidently not. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just...
Brad Neat's kind of hit or miss. He could be really fast one week and really bad the next one.
I don't know. I know that him and O'Neill spun each other out, and when they went to the tail, like with the second lap of my heat race, and I was still in 12th before they went behind me. That moved me up to 10th. I really thought they'd drive back by me, but they didn't. So, but I did get up to 7th in my heat race, which got me in the B main, kept me out of the hooligan race.
Was this at the B town?
This was at B town.
Now, did you guys? Now, me and Brian spoke a little bit about it offline. We're not going to get too in depth into it, but I did want to ask you: did you see what showed up at the UMP racetrack at Portsmouth over the weekend, or did you hear about?
No, what happened?
It's on 4M, so it's common knowledge. It's nothing. I'm not divulging anything, but a sniffer ended up out there and caught some guys.
Well, you know what? It probably should have been at Cedar Lake, and it probably should have been at Brownstown also.
Well, I don't know about them places. I just know.
Well, look. I'm not saying anything about the sniffer. I'm just going to tell you, I took a tire that I know was chemically altered to a race this weekend where there was a sniffer, and they put the sniffer on it, and guess what? It passed.
apparently they didn't.
Now, I didn't run it.
Webb, he must be prepping it was what we was talking about.
No, look, the guy that prepped it, I didn't do it. The guy that prepped it told me that the key is time. It's got to set to let the chemicals out.
For the record, Webb Dillard is against that, but that's just for the record.
Well, hey, no, I'm against it too. Let's don't get this confused. I'm against it too, but I think if we can't police it, let's just make it legal. I mean, like dope. I mean, we ain't doing very good at controlling it. Let's just make it legal. And I don't even use it.
Oh, goodness.
But I think we might as well.
Now you start sounding like Chad Stapleton.
I don't have a big problem with it either. But you know what? Maybe they ought to just have one compound of tire.
But what's that going to prove? Let's just say it's not
going to prove anything. But everybody knows that you can only do so much to that rubber before it falls apart.
Well, okay. But if you can take a 40, let's just say they make it a 40, okay, mm-hmm. which is our hard tire in UMP land. If they take a 40 and the guys are able to chemically alter it to make it go as fast as the 20 from the beginning, but keep the same consistency and make it act like a 40 as it goes on. What have they done?
Or they could give you something as hard as hell and say it has to durometer this, and that's easy.
But they're doing that with the 40. They're telling us what the 40's got a durometer. Okay? Mm-hmm. But it don't matter. The guys are changing the compound of the tire to keep the edge on it. And we were talking over the weekend, me and another guy, about certain cars at Brownstown that fired on a 40 5/10 faster than anybody else on a 40. Okay, that's a changed tire. I don't care how good you got it hooked up. You're not going to be and these are top 5 cars.
Right.
Okay, you're not going to take top 5 cars and one guy or two guys fire half a second faster for 3 or 4 laps. Doesn't happen. Something's going on. So why don't we just put it out there? Let's just make it legal. Maybe we can make some money off the tire dope guy. That way he can contribute to the points fund.
That's interesting.
But hey, I want to be clear. I don't use it. Everybody says that though. I really don't, and I don't care one way or the other. I just don't like getting beat by it.
Oh, I understand. I just the safety is what concerns me. I think, and what we had
Well, wait a minute. If we're worried about safety, then we all need to park the race cars.
No. I didn't mean for the drivers. I meant everybody involved. I mean the fans, the people that work in the pits, the people that put the stuff on. I mean if it's bad for your health.
Well, so is smoking, but we don't ban it. It happens in the pit.
I quit though. I quit smoking. Been quit for like a year and 5 months. Woo! See, I'm a health nut now.
Dude, it's all about the money, Webb.
I know it.
That's what it boils down to. It's all about the money.
Yeah. If ABC Tire Company kicked in $100,000 to Lucas Oil, guess what? We're all going to be legal on whatever ABC Tire brand dope is.
Damn. Well, Moon, what you guys got coming up this week?
Well, I'm golfing. I'm going to go do a little fishing. Not really. We're going to Spoon River tomorrow night for the Summer National Race, so I don't make the show there. And those people, that's the other thing. People make fun of me for not making the show. But you guys need to see my paycheck for not making the show. It pays pretty well to not make the show, so it's okay. Going to Spoon River one night, or going to Spoon River tomorrow night, Highland on Wednesday night, Brownstown, Illinois on Thursday, back to my Belle Claire, Montgomery County, Quincy deal on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I think we get next Monday off again, but I don't know.
All right. Well, as long as you lead the point.
I thought I was hosting the show this week. I know I was a little late, but so is Johnny Carson sometimes.
Yeah, we had to go. We had to keep.
You messed up,
moving.
Dude.
Yeah,
you were supposed to be on at 7.
We'll get you next week for sure.
Yeah, we got to do a better job of organizing that deal. You said early in the morning you were calling me, and it wasn't. Hey, did you get a hold of the people I told you to get a hold of?
nobody had their voicemail set up, and then and nobody called back. So it is what it is.
I'll have to work on that.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Moon, I appreciate you coming on here and stirring the tea jug with a boat paddle.
Why do I stir it up? I thought it's been a relatively lightweight week.
No, I mean, listen. There's a reason why I have you and Brian Gray on my show.
Well, we haven't talked about Ernie or nothing yet today.
Oh man, here we go.
We probably not gonna. I got some other guests got to get to.
It's gonna take some calling out though to get him to come on here.
Well, I don't care if he comes on or not, because never mind.
You done with that, right?
No, I'm not done with it because he's a retard. But it's okay. It's okay. Ernie, I know you're listening.
You're rough as a corn cob.
I am.
Well, I mean, I can be too. I said who couldn't beat Brad Neat.
Well, we all have a moment.
Yeah. Well, Jim,
you're going to let me go. Okay, fine. I'm done with the show tonight. Man, you caused me to stop putting the seed in to come on the show, and now you're wanting to cut me off earlier. Maybe I want to interview the Who's Next on the radio.
All right, well, I'll let you do that then.
Who is next?
We have Chris Tilley with the Southern All-Stars. Chris, how are you tonight?
Doing fine. How are you guys? I'm enjoying all this. I'm telling you.
I hope you're prepared.
Chris, do you know Ernie Morrison?
Oh man, don't get me started on that, man.
No, it's just yes or no question. Yes, no, or no, you don't. You know of him? Man. Well.
Chris
how'd you do over the
knows
weekend?
Ernie Morrison.
How'd you do over the weekend, Chris?
We had a pretty good show at Smoky Mountain Saturday night. Vic Hill, he just dominates down here. He's won the last 3 races at Smoky Mountain, 2 with Southern All-Stars this season, and I don't know if anybody can beat him. I mean, he was quick on takeoff. Ray Cook, Ray was second. He had a good battle with David Crabtree going, and they couldn't nobody touch him. I mean, he was a half track better than everybody.
Did you guys check his tires? I'm not saying he's cheap, but
we
you check them?
We take a sample out of the fast qualifier, and then our tech man takes samples out of the usually the top 3, sometimes the top 2, and we do check tires all night long, and we've got a pretty good system in place.
Well, that's good. So at least they're making an effort to police it.
I can say
I did it with my series, and we're going to continue that with Southern All-Stars. Yeah.
I can vouch for it. We had a tandem show during Memorial Day weekend in East Smith and that Southern All-Stars, and we did our thing with the tire testing, and I personally witnessed them getting the winner, Randy Weavers, off at the one. I think it was at Magnolia. So yeah.
Webb, I wish that one of those series would let me prep a tire, go and run a race, and then take that sample and just no matter where I finish, send that sample off and just see if it'll pass.
But we can't as a series, and Chris will agree with me. We can't put that kind of trust in the driver's hands. I don't believe.
No, what I'm saying is let me prep one. We'll run the race, then we'll take a sample of it afterwards, and we'll see if my tire is still legal or if it'll fail the test.
Well, why do you even have to run it? Why don't you prep a tire and then send the sample in? See what
because it has to be ran because I have this theory behind it, and I'm not going to share all the I'm not going to share the details, but I got this feeling that there's some certain things that you can do that I can make that tire come out legal, but it's going to have to go through some heat cycles.
And I'll tell you something else, guys. I'm not all for the sniffer in the pits down in the lineup chutes, and I don't know how you guys' opinion on that is, and we don't do that anymore. I mean, you need that in a controlled environment anyway. And Terry Watson with World of Outlaws, I communicate with him quite regularly. I mean, especially at Tazwater in the year when we was there. I mean, you got to do that stuff in a controlled environment. I mean, it picks up every little thing. I mean, Yeah. And I don't know whether
if somebody's over there.
Guys do with,
Now, and real quick, and the only reason I'll even butt in, I don't try to debate it, my guests, but the only thing I'll say on that is I hear lots of people who are not chemists or scientists make comments on the sniffer, and this ain't calling you out, Chris. I want to put this out to everybody. Unless you have taken that thing and the person saying it has put it through the scientific method and had controls and variables and all these different things that you do when it comes to experimenting and testing something, then we can't say that it needs a controlled environment. It's like when drivers say that they run over something in the pits and then the power gets leaked illegal. I mean, same deal, right? People can say that, but that probably doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, and I know where you're getting there. It's in your user too, because you can't just let any Tom, Dick, and Harry take care of it. That's right. Now, I mean, I know what you're getting at. You need trained people that knows what's going on with these tires. Yeah.
And no disrespect to you, Chris, none at all. Just so you know. And moving away from the tire stuff, because we can talk about till the cows come home with cheated tires. You also not only you guys have put on two hell of a good shows with us there in Mississippi. The Southern All-Stars, they worried me for a couple of years. In the past, they weren't making car counts and everything, and they were putting filler cars in. Seems like it's a little stronger now. What is the difference with the Southern All-Stars and the strength of the series? It seems a little stronger now.
Well, it's, we try to run a good show, and it's everybody included. I got a great crew that I can depend on at the racetrack. Royce Fout, Rick Owens, and Lynn Ackland. He takes care of. He's Mr. Statistician when it comes to Southern All-Stars, and he's good at dealing with the promoters, and we work good with them. And it's honesty in our program, integrity, and where our staff has been before with different entities. And we pride ourselves in running a pretty quick show. Sometimes you can't help it when the track's got a bunch of support classes, but man, we need those. I mean, we're not fussing. We need them. But it kind of hurts you sometimes when you're trying to run a quick show and get out of there. We was a little late getting out of Smoky Mountain the other night, but we was last all night. So and that makes a big difference. And like I say, just the crew and standing behind our rules, we had to pull some scenarios out of the rule book Saturday night that we had some issues with. So, but we stick by our rules, and I believe in any series, if you just stay by the rules that you got in place and use a little common sense at the racetrack, you can take care of business.
That's right. And not only that, you do so much in the sport. This is I think your second go around with the Southern All Stars, but you also promote one of the coolest series we got in the South, the Ray Cook Southern Nationals. You're the announcer, PR guy. I think you wear 10 hats with the. And what's going on this year with the Southern Nationals?
Well, we got Schaefer Oil back on board as our title sponsor for the second year in a row. This has been my fifth or sixth year, I believe, with Ray Cook on that deal, and it's enjoyable. It's a vacation to me. Ray asked me how many years back to do it, and been helping him ever since. And something I get to enjoy doing, and getting to go to a lot of the racetracks that we go to with Southern All Stars and the series that I've had before in the past with the Volunteer and also Battle of Bluegrass. And we have a good time there. It's a lot of fun. And by the time you get to that 10th night at Tazewell, they're ready to go home. And I can only imagine what the Summer Nationals are like. Regardless, with 10 nights and 13 days with us, I can imagine what them guys are going through. I forget where they're even. Are they off tonight, I believe? Is that right?
We are off tonight. We are off tonight.
Oh, okay, so they're getting a night off after, I guess Cedar Lake went very well. I heard Brownstown had a bunch of cars, so good to see that thing kick off in the right direction. Always glad to hear that. But that Southern Nationals is taking off, and Ray Cook he's going to be the next Mike Schwimms, man. I got a lot of respect for him. He's been like a dad to me, and I appreciate everything he's done. He's good for the sport, I can tell you.
Yeah, and you guys get cars, Davenport, Madden. Should probably get. I think Landers would probably be able to race a couple of them if there's not any conflict with the Lucas schedule. I mean,
O'Neill hit us last year a couple times when Lucas wasn't running, and he's always a good name to have. I think we had him at Whitful and Carolina last year. So, and those we go ahead.
You guys are paying a bonus too, right, for the guys that run the Hell Tour and the the Southern Nationals?
Yeah, we've got a bonus on the line. Ray's got that put up. Got some good sponsors behind that. and about $8,000 total. I think $3,000 in cash to somebody who runs all the races. Doesn't mean you have to win the championship. There's somebody who runs them all, and he comes down and runs with us on the 2-week deal. And we've heard some names thrown in the hat, so we're interested to see how that's going to go. It'd be pretty cool to see some of the Midwest guys come down here. It really would.
Well, Chris, thank you for coming on this evening. The tire debate's going to rage. I think the best part about the tire debate is that everybody seems to be talking about it now. Whichever way you lean on it, we got to figure something out. Just keep everything on a level. Go ahead.
It's done a lot. It's been a lot of headache for me, but the lab's been good to work with over in North Carolina the last couple of years. Steve and Kim Johnson over at Blue Ridge Labs. I mean, they're just as good of people as they come, and they're honest, and they try to run a good business over there. They're not out to get anybody, and they're just taking what we send or anybody sends in and matches it up to those benchmarks. I mean, they don't care who wins these races. They don't even know these guys. And, I've heard that debated before. Well, they're cheating. Well, they ain't cheating. Lord have mercy, man.
Hey, Chris, you may not know, but I got a question. What's it cost when you said, what's it cost for a series to send a set of samples in?
They went up a little bit this year.
Like if you do the top 5 guys, what's it cost you on a nightly basis?
I mean, we do various. It just depends on. I mean, you may have a fast qualifier that we've done checked that may win the feature, and sometimes it's on the same tire, depending on how many lap feature it is and what the track conditions are. But it just varies. I think they went up $10 or $15 on their GC scan. They got a volatile scan that's about double that, and then they've got a mass spectro scan that we've had to actually use. So we ran into a problem on Volunteer back in August of 2010 when we co-sanctioned with Carolina Clash up at Whitfield, and we had a car come through that we took the winner's tire and we sent it off, and what ended up happening, they didn't have the right benchmark that Hoosier had sent, so we had to get a new tire, go through about 3 weeks of getting that tire to the lab, them examining it, and it matched it. And we thought they threw up a red flag at first because they didn't have the right benchmark. And it kind of reminds me of what they went into what they got into at the Carolina Crown race earlier in the year down there at Carolinas. I think they jumped the gun a little bit on that.
Yeah, the American Racer gentleman come on and kind of took up for the whole process. Say, hey, we didn't get the right benchmark there, and it's just a process. I mean, everybody's got to be on the same page or it don't work. So
it just threw another variable into the mess that whole thing did with.
Yeah.
It does, and that Cody guy down there, man, he worked hard on that race, and
yeah, he did.
And I mean, when you promote your races and you get out and you do the best you can do. Anybody that puts on a promoter's hat, I got respect for them because ain't nobody else out there trying to do it. I mean, and the racers just got to realize if it wasn't for the promoters, they wouldn't have a place to race. So it all goes hand in hand, and we all got to work together. We do get mad at people. We get excited. We may not like somebody, but we still got to try to work together with them. Believe it or not, we still got to work together with these people. Because you got racetracks here in Kentucky where I live that's shutting down because they can't work together, and they both want to be butthead about it. And you just can't do stuff like that.
Now, you and I both know, Chris, that we got a lot of buttheads in the sport.
I mean, there's a lot of good people, too.
There's a lot of good people, too.
The bad ones. Golly, I mean, I run into them every week, and it's nice to go to Smoky Mountain. You've got a packed house down there like last week, and we get a little break and back there behind the grandstands talking to people and asking them, what can we do to make this series better? What can we do here for you? We're here servicing you all. What can we do for you all? And that's what we got to remember. And I think we're making the right steps. Matt Wagner stepped up. He's the new series owner, in case a lot of people don't know. And he's doing a lot of good things for the series. We've got Schaefer's Oil back on board. They got a little upset at the previous management, and they refused to sponsor the series. They just told me, dead low. I mean, he come out and told me. And we got them back on board. And Schaefer's Oil is a good name to have in the sport.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right.
A good product, too.
Yeah. Before we let you go, of course, thank some of the series sponsors. Also, give us the website for the series and also the Ray Cook Southern National Series.
We've got a brand new website. Ben Shelton down there at MSR. I'm telling you what, he's Mafia. He's awesome. Ben Shelton, great announcer, good kid, and he's built us a new website, www.sasdirt.com. Real simple, sasdirt.com. We got a new Twitter account. We'd love to have everybody joining. I'm actually on my iPhone now doing the Twitter and mine, both off of both accounts at race night. So we are updating it, and it's at sasdirt, the same deal, at sasdirt. And, I'm going to be able to take off 2 weeks and go with Ray again. And we got the SouthernNationalSeries.com. It's a good website. Mr. Ryan Delph does a good job up there. And we're glad to have him. And we appreciate Hoosier Tires. Hoosier stepped up.
Well, Chris, I appreciate taking your time out of your Monday evening. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know that any time up there at Smoky Mountain is a heck of a race. Funny story, isn't that where the NASCAR guy, was it Bud Baker, that fell out of the ambulance on the gurney? Back when it was an asphalt track? Ask somebody if you don't know. I think that's the track.
I'll have to check it. I may have to check with Roby Helm on that now.
Yeah, Roby knows. He is.
I'll have to check with Roby on that. And I got to throw out here before I get out. It was good working with you guys down at Why Not and Magnolia down in Columbus. I had never been to either one of those tracks. I think it made 134 and 135 different tracks for me. Doing this stuff, and man, oh man, it was nice to get to work with you. You was easy to work with, and fun. We teased Roby all weekend about looking like Nick Saban with that hat on. We just love it.
Well, we everybody in our team was equally as pleased, and I wouldn't doubt if we probably put some more shows together. But
I think it's good.
Yeah, yeah.
You all brought a lot of cars. And you all think had 47 at Magnolia. We had 40.
Yeah.
And, those are the kind of car counts you want. And we run a good show. I mean, I was on the road by 11:30 local time. Headed back towards Brasstown to announce for Ray on Monday night. So, we had a long weekend.
We try to get the show in and over with.
Who was that guy that you had on the show there before? Who was that guy that y'all was talking about tires? That voice sounded familiar earlier there.
Jim Moon.
Jim Moon. Okay. I heard him a time or two.
He's still there with us.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
You want to talk bad about me now?
No, Lord, no, man. I tell you what, we've done quite a bit of racing up in Indiana and Illinois over the years, and with Northern All-Stars, getting to work with them. Being in Kentucky, you can be accessible to the north or be accessible to the south pretty quick, and we've had a lot of fun. I string you around, so good talking to you guys. I appreciate you having me on, first of all, and thanks for the series to get a good plug here, and you've got a good thing going here, Webb.
I appreciate it. Make sure we stay in touch, because I want to get Ray and you back involved when it gets closer to Southern National time.
Okay, we'll try to get on maybe a week before. We can't really do it unless you want to do a little bit of a live remote from Whistle that night. We might be able to do that.
Yes, let's do it.
We'll try to get you all fixed up, and I appreciate you, and good luck to you, Jim, and hey, you all have a good year, man.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Chris Tilley.
Appreciate you, guys.
All right, we're going to just keep this thing moving. We're going to bring on a fellow 525er, Jim, Mr. Ross Martin. Mr. Ross Martin, Talladega, Alabama. Ross, it's been made news on the Neesmith website and all the stuff Roby puts out. You're running a 525, having similar success that Jim Moon's having with it. So give us your take on the 525.
Really excited, really like the motor, have had a lot of success with it. Me and my son both are running them, and he's having a lot of success with it. We're really excited about the new series coming.
Is it something? Okay, let's. And Jim, you said many times it's not a big deal, but Ross, in your words, if a guy's out there listening and he's wanting to get this 525 to run it as a super late model, there's not a lot of worry when it comes to changing it out. I mean, tell us what you had to do to drop this thing in the car.
Oh, Lord, it's the package deal you buy with the motor mounts and the MSD and all. It's a plug-and-play deal. It bolts right to the burnt bell housing and use the same starter and everything you normally use, and it just bolts right in. You change your MSD box out, but it comes with a wiring harness, and it's very simple application to install.
And running it, I mean, you're going up against guys like the Talladega Short Track, Stacy Holmes in the super late model division, going against Randall Walker, going against Terry Smith. So you're beating guys with these big motors. What's the difference in your mind?
Well, I've ran big motors all my life, and this motor, you get it to the ground better. I'm running faster times now than I did with the big motor, and I think I just didn't realize how much wheel spin I did have with the big motors. But my best part of it, I'm on my 3rd year with mine, and all I've done is change the oil and change the spark plugs in it. And on my big motors, I would have done freshen them 2 or 3 times, so my motor's actually paid for itself.
Moon, you got any questions you want to ask since you guys are both running the same motor?
Yeah. Hey, are you running it with the AccuSump, or are you running it just with an oil cooler?
Just the oil cooler. I do not run the AccuSump.
Okay. And what kind of oil are you running in your deal?
Run the mobile one. I go to Walmart and buy the 5-quart deal and buy 2 more quarts to go with it. It's the cheapest I've ever had as far as changing oil and servicing it. But we stay with the mobile one, 530 oil.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece because it runs just all the time.
I had a man call me Saturday. He had blew a motor Friday night and wanted to know if I wanted to sell my open motor. And I told him I would sell it, but he was a fool if he didn't go buy a 525. It's just, they're just trouble-free.
Yeah, and it's hard to convince guys that they just can't get past the fact that they're losing 200 horsepower and they think they need it, but they can't. They don't get over the fact. They don't grasp the fact that we drive right by them in the feature.
Exactly. We've had this one on several tracks around here, and we went down to Milton, Florida, which we weren't familiar with the track, and kind of qualified bad. We qualified 16th and came up and finished 3rd with it, and it just perfect little piece. Like I said, you can't explain how good they are.
Yeah. Go ahead, Webb.
Oh, sorry. Now, I was going to ask you, you said that, and of course, it's common knowledge here that you and your son both are running it. And I'm not privy to, guys, how you finance your racing, but it'd be a harder deal if you guys both had open motors and had all that expense.
Oh, well, we couldn't have done it. My son came up through the crate class with the 604s, and he won a few track championships. He won the Neesmith East region, and knew he was a good driver and all, but there's no way I could have just went out and bought him a $30,000 or $35,000 open motor. So this was the only way I could move him into late model. And this is his first year at Talladega, and the competition's very strong there. And he's done 1-3 and should have won 4, but I kind of snookered him on a restart on one of them and took it away from him. But I mean, it's just the perfect little old motor, perfect deal.
I mean, do you see your tire wear? Your tires seem to last longer on the 525 deal.
Yes, they do. And we're able to go with a little softer tire. It just we're not spinning them, we're not buzzing them around the track. Yeah, we're having a lot of good tire wear with them.
Yeah, I'm same boat here.
Now, some people, and I've heard many people say it, and without saying names, but many people have said before they got a chance to be around it, have said, or even the crate mode, they said, oh, I don't want it. They gripe and moan about it, but the guys who are running it are the ones singing the praises. Can this thing take hold and somewhat save racing for the small funded teams? Go ahead, Ross.
I think it's a savior. Like I said, I would be out of racing by now. I was spending, what's a new motor without the bolt-on pieces is $6,900. I was spending that freshening up my open motors, and we were running 415s and stuff and freshening them twice a year. By now, I would, with the economy, what it did, a year ago, taking a dump and stuff, I would be out of racing by now. I don't understand why the small racers won't look towards this. It's like I said, it's a savior for me.
Well, let's ask this question then, and Ross, you answer, then Moon, you answer, and Brian. Are there other entities in our sport scared of this motor besides just the drivers?
I'm sorry?
Are there other entities inside the sport that might be scared of this motor other than just the drivers?
Oh, well, the engine builders aren't liking it because, like I said, the money I have saved, I probably cut the 3rd shift out at my engine builder's place when I bought one.
Well, and I think, too, it's just like anything. It's like the housing market. You know, everybody went crazy and it was just loaning money, and then the bubble burst.
You know, like we have the whole crate debate.
Yeah.
And the crate debate that I was having was with the 604, 602 deal. And that really wasn't, you know, the great way to go because I didn't think that really money-wise that you really got much bang for your buck. Now with the 525, I think that's a different story.
It is.
Because for right around the same amount of money that maybe, you know, I like the concept of the 525, but I don't like the concept of having crate only classes of cars.
Now, but listen, and though, here's the thing with this, and you heard Mr. Martin say it, and Moon has said it. You can switch that motor in out pretty quick, can't you, Mr. Martin?
Oh yes. Just
so if you wanted to show up at a 525 event next year with whatever it's going to be called through the Neesmith series, you could actually just bring both motors and run both divisions.
No, I think you've been a little bit. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not talking about that. I just, you know, $30,000-$40,000 for a motor is just to race on Saturday night is ridiculous. I get that, and that's what I'm saying. I like the concept of the 525 because you got pretty decent power, and it's fairly economical, and that kind of compares with, you know, the groups of guys out there that have the ability to build engines on their own that don't spend it on an engine builder.
Yeah, but Brian, I'm not a motor builder, and Ross, maybe you throw something in here. Even the guys that build it at home, they still have more than what we have in a 525 bolted up, ready to go.
See, I got to beg to differ with you on that. Because there's no way I got $4,000 in any of the engines I run.
But how long does your motor last?
How many heads do you run?
I run SB 2.2s.
And you can build one with an SB2 for less than $4,000?
I could build an SB2 for about $6,400. I just built 4 of them.
How long do they last? Have you ran one for 3 years and just changed the oil in it?
No, but I ran one for 52 races last season at over 8,600 RPM every night.
Okay, but and again, and I'm not beating you up. No,
okay, I get that. But what I'm saying is that you know the companies like, you know, Roush Yates and this guy and that guy getting into the market and they mark these things up, dude. Because you know what, I know that there's technology in cylinder heads. And there's certain things that you can do with coatings and this and that. On a Saturday night level, a guy racing on a quarter-mile track, that doesn't mean absolutely jack nothing. And you should be able to agree with that.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. But there's also a market there, because if you grow trees and you can figure out how to grow a pink tree, and you can get people to give you 3 times the amount for the pink tree than the green tree, that's all. That's part
right,
of it.
and that's the motor builder part. That's why I say I like the idea of the 525, but I don't like the idea of it being a 525 only class.
All right, I'm gonna give Mr. Martin last word here before we let him go. Ross, again, the 525 compared to a professionally built motor. What are you going to lean to in the future? I mean, from now in the future.
That's what I'd like to say. You was talking about you could swap a motor. I have not been to a racetrack yet with my 525 that I was scared to line up against any open motor.
No, I didn't mean that, sir. I meant if you wanted to drop your crate motor back in and run the Neesmith portion of the evening, you could probably get it done.
Yeah, you could. But if they had an open late model motor and they would allow the 525, I wouldn't swap motors for it. I would run the 525 in the open also.
That's right.
I think my son, the last race at Talladega, he was just a few 100s off the track record at Talladega with a 525.
Well, Rob,
and that right there that's the good part right there, Webb, is the thing, like what I like and what I kind of proposed to a few people to think about, and I didn't say, hey, no, you have to do this, but something to think about is 525s, no problem, whatever you got there with the crate engine, but also allow, you know, steel block guys to run. No weight brakes, no spoiler brakes, none of that crap. You're going to run an open steel block motor against a 525 crate motor.
Hey, Ross, do you guys get a spoiler brake down there?
No, we don't. Everyone runs 8-inch.
Yes, and that's the same thing I'm on up here. And then, what's your guys' weight deal?
Well, now we get 100 pounds. We weigh 2,200, and the spec motors weigh 2,200, and the all-aluminum open motors are 2,300.
Yeah, see, now up here, all aluminum motors are 2,300, and then I get to weigh 2,200. But I was informed the other night that if I won any more races, that I would have to start weighing 2,300. And then I went out and won Friday night, so I guess I have to start weighing 2,300.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, it's common knowledge the motors are a little underpowered. I think they're a great advantage for, like a less driver, you know, that can't really put control of big motor because the wheels spin and stuff. But I don't think they should make you weigh the 2,300 because they are a little underpowered.
And this
I don't agree with
and
it
this
either.
is why I
That's the way
say
to go.
that, because it's hard to find a car that's got a steel engine in it that you can get below 2,300 pounds. Now, keep in mind that steel block motor is going to carry, 140 more pounds on the front end than anybody else, too?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's that whole aluminum block thing that has become a huge expense in open late model stuff.
But
now,
see, the beauty of the 525, if you break a block, a block's $1,400.
Right. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying that's the beauty of the whole deal.
Yeah.
You get rid of these guys that are spending, $40,000-$50,000 on an all aluminum 418 or 434, whatever they're building, and you come back to this.
Well, I hate to do this, Ross. I'm going to have to let you thank your sponsors. Tell us where you're going to be racing at, and tell us where your son's going to be racing at, and then we'll talk to you on down the highway.
Okay. I'd like to thank Neve Smith for bringing this program in. Like I said, to me, it was a savior for my racing package. And Sam Brazier Tires. And this weekend we'll be racing, competing against the Southern All-Stars at Talladega Short Track.
Well, you guys, good luck. Go out there and get you another checker flag. And thank you for taking time out of your evening. And like I said, get you another win, man.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to switch gears here real quick. On the telephone, Mr. Kevin Kovac of, I don't know which hat he's wearing today, the Hell Tour. He's representing the Hell Tour tonight. How you doing, Kevin?
Hey, how you doing there, Webb?
Oh, we have lit the fire on 14 different subjects tonight. So we're turning to you. You're gonna give us a little bit of rundown so far with the Hell Tour, and I guess Moyer Jr. has really put a blazing trail on everything.
Yeah, I think Billy Moyer Jr. has been the big story with the Hell Tour so far. The Dirt Car Summer Nationals. I haven't been out on any of the first 5 races. I haven't seen any of them in person. I've been, we had World of Outlaws Late Model Series races this weekend up in Maryland and Pennsylvania, so I was with them, doing the PR stuff there. But obviously we're keeping track of what's going on in the Summer Nationals, and Billy Moyer won 3 of the first 5 races. Yeah, actually, he won 3 of the first 4 races, and he'd never won a Summer Nationals race before. And he comes right out of the box, won the opener at Brownstown, Indiana last Wednesday night, and then he come back on Friday and Saturday, and he swept both nights at Cedar Lake Speedway out in Wisconsin. So, I mean, it's like, and he's leading the point standings after the 5 races now too. So, Moyer Jr. is he's definitely the story of the Summer Nationals so far.
Yeah, we're not quite used to hearing his name so much as when I first saw him. I didn't see any pictures. I just read it. It said Moyer win, and it didn't resonate that it might be the junior. But is the Hell Tour aware of Miss Kathy Jarvik trying to make some of the shows?
Yeah, I know I've never seen her yet because like I said, I haven't been out there on any of the races. But I know that she's a stunt driver from out there in the West that's trying to get sponsors and stuff to try to come out here and come out and run the whole Summer Nationals. I'd never heard of her before, like as a as a dirt late model racer or anything. I mean, I had I hadn't heard anything about her racing at all, anything. So it's definitely an interesting story. But I think she had problems already. It didn't take long. I think she blew up the motor in her hauler or something. Right, like the 3rd race of the year of the series.
Yeah, just read that. We had her on the show, and she's a lot cooler than all of us put together. Just because of what she did, all the stunts in the movie The Italian Job, the female driving stunts with the little minis. So she can definitely drive, and I think she'll find her way in late models. And switching gears, Hell Tour's underway. You guys are the World of Outlaws. You're the PR guy. Did you tell us a little bit about T-Mac and his outburst there to the fan? What exactly? I mean, we can I guess what the fan was saying. And if nobody heard it, T-Mac had a conversation with one of the fans.
Well, there's a situation there. Hagerstown. There's the last few years. There's been this group of 3, 4, 5 guys. And every time we've been there, they have just heckled the heck out of Josh Richards. I mean, from the entire night, they would just yell all night long, Josh Richards, you're no good, you're daddy's boy, all this stuff. I mean, all night long. And if anybody, even stood next to Josh Richards, during the draw, Daryl Lanigan would stand next to Josh Richards, and these guys would heckle Daryl Lanigan. They'd curse him out. I mean, our series director, Tim Chrisman, a couple of years ago, actually went up to these guys in the stands because they're cursing up there in the stands, yelling at these people. He said, hey, you guys, have your fun. Heckle the people. Let's keep it clean, all right? Or else, or we're going to get you out of here. You don't need to be yelling, cursing at everybody. So I don't know for a fact that this is the same guy, but I think it is because it sounded just like them the way they've been. But anyway, after McCready won the race on Saturday night there in Hagerstown, he's in victory lane, and there's 3 or 4 guys up there by the catch fence screaming out to him, yelling at McCready that he jumped a restart, which I have no clue what they're even talking about. I mean, these guys are making themselves look like complete idiots just from that fact, because they're saying, you jumped that start when you were, I think they were Jamie Latham fans also, because they kept mentioning Jamie Latham. Jamie Latham got screwed or something, but and Latham was third and McCready was second. I mean, actually, Latham wasn't even alongside of McCready on that restart. They said that he jumped Gary Stuhler, but the fact is, they thought there's this cone. I think the track has a cone there in the corner that they get to use for weekly racing. That's the star line. That's not what we use. So maybe they saw McCready go before that cone, but we have an opening. We have VP cones that not cones, but big tie lines that go there, and there's a 30-foot, 40-foot area that's the start zone. So I mean it's totally different than the regular stuff. But what they're cursing, McCready's in victory lane. There's the fan of the race was a little girl, probably about, I think she was 7 years old. She's standing next to McCready as he's getting interviewed. And these hoodlums over here were just yelling, cursing and stuff. And McCready said, hey, if you want to talk about the restart or something that you think that I didn't do right, come back into the pits and talk to me about it. We got little kids here that don't need to be hearing your voice and stuff. And our series director, again, also, he had been up in the stands at that point. He also came up behind them, and he said, hey, guys, you got a problem? And as soon as they turned around and looked at him, I guess they shut up real fast and kind of walked off. And, they didn't want any they're big tough guys when nobody confronts them. But it was good when McCready said that, because it was the truth. I mean, there's no need for everybody to be cursing in victory lane with all those kids around.
Yeah, it was a classy move, and I wasn't bringing it up to make light of it. I knew there was probably more to the story than just some random heckler. Looking at the point.
There were several of them. I think that they do it a lot there, and but they really made themselves look like jerks when it happened. And it made McCready look great now, but everybody was coming up to him in the pits afterwards and saying, hey, thanks for saying that, So it was good. It was good that he did that on the speaker.
And real quick, looking at your guys' points, Lanigan, leads the way. I mean, he's really had it on the ball here last couple of years. Eckert running second, last year's champion. Chubb Frank, Tim McCready, Shane Clanton. That's a feather in the World of Outlaws cap to have him win the Dream, I would think. You guys are pretty proud of that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it was definitely. It had been a couple of years, a few years since World of Outlaws regular won one of the big races out there. So if everybody probably would have picked somebody who was going to win the Dream out of the Outlaw group there, you probably would have said Daryl Lanigan because he was one of the fastest cars at Eldora for both of the Crown Jewel races last year. But he just hasn't been able to get over the hump there and get that win. And he's won it before, but that was 9 years ago, the Dream, and he ended up third. But Shane was he was a dominant car there at Eldora. And on the tour though, Daryl Lanigan is just unbelievable. He's won 4 of the last 6 races. He won last night out at Erie Speedway out in Pennsylvania, and he did it this time again. He passed Tim McCready for the lead with 6 to go. McCready's really getting going here. He's the only other driver with 2 wins on the season other than Lanigan. Lanigan's got 6 now, and Lanigan had to run him down. He passed him on the outside, and just was a little bit faster than McCready. McCready couldn't run, didn't know that the outside was as good as it was when he was leading so long. And when McCready said, "Hey, I got a second, but I know that I'm right there now. I'm really, really close to being able to beat Lanigan," and that's good for the series because I think now we're going to have McCready and being able to go toe to toe with Lanigan. And Shane Clanton actually led that race. He might have been the fastest car out of Erie's last night. He led the first 14. He led after 2 through 14, and then he blew the motor. So and he had a good lead when he blew up. So he might not have been able to be beaten. He would have got his first win possibly if he hadn't broke.
I need Tim to pick it up and get to. I think I had him as my number 1 finisher in the preseason press poll. So I don't want to look like a total moron. So come on, Timmy.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a great comeback to win this championship, though, because he's going to need some disasters to strike Lanigan because Darrell's got there's no one that's ever had over a 100-point lead at this point, like 17 races into a season. It's been incredible. I mean, we haven't even had a rain out, too, by the way. It was 17 for 17 this year, knock on wood. I mean, the way everything went last night at Erie's, I think we're pretty blessed this year because there was a giant thing of rain coming right at us off of Lake Erie. And we didn't even have the guys unload. Everybody stayed loaded because they thought that it was just going to rain at any minute. They ran the other, and it didn't rain, so we just had the lower divisions run first. And when they were done with their features, it still hadn't rained, so we're like, we got to get everybody going here. Looks like it's breaking up, and we got the whole show in just for maybe about a 10-minute delay. At one point, we had maybe a 2-minute shower, wet the track a little bit, but then we were able to get it in. So last night was like, man. It shows you the weather. You never could tell what the weather's going to do. You might think the rain's coming, but it could go around you somehow.
Well, before we let you get off here, plug some upcoming shows, and also do me a favor, kick Eshelman for me when you see him.
No, yeah, Rick Eshelman. He's a character. Our World of Outlaws announcer. He's got his favorite race of the year is coming up in a couple of weeks here. We go up to Canada. We're going up to Autodrome Granby in Quebec. We're going to get a little bit of the French speaking area there. We're going to hear World of Outlaw, Stucker on the track. It's pretty neat to hear the announcers up there talking. And then we go to Cornwall Motor Speedway in Ontario Sunday, Canandaigua, New York on Tuesday, and then we go to the Firecracker 100 at Lernerville Speedway in Pennsylvania, $30,000 to win for the 100-lapper on June 30th, 28th, and 29th, with 30 lappers for $6,000 to win as preliminary nights. And of course, on Saturday night during the Firecracker, Rick Eshelman dresses up as Uncle Sam. So he gets into the mood of the holiday, and he interviews everybody wearing his Uncle Sam outfit. So he definitely loves doing that. But that's what we have coming up. Summer Nationals, they have a night off actually tonight, and tomorrow they're back at it at Spoon River Speedway in Illinois, and they still have 24 more races they have over the next 3 weeks. So those guys will be very, very busy.
Well, Kevin, appreciate it. Every time I get to work with you, whether it's on the show or at the racetrack, it's always a good time. So have you back on sometime soon, and be careful in all your travels.
Okay, same to you, Webb. Thanks for having us on.
Not a problem. Kevin Kovac, World Outlaws public relations guy. Let's keep moving on. We're going to bring on my buddy, Mr. Craig Reese. 2 victories over the weekend. Mr. Reese. Sorry you had to wait so long. Sorry you had to wait so long,
that's
brother.
All right.
Listen, and just to be honest with you, I started the day with 2 guests, literally, and you hit me up on a text, and I go, okay, so he's my 3rd guest. Well, then all these other guests just like boom, 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 and it was no particular order. It's just whoever called in. So,
right.
Listen, dude. So you got 2. This is your 3rd win on the season over the weekend?
No. This is our 5th win of the season.
5th win of the season in a capital race car. But
the capital race cars are they're just bad. I mean, Shane should have had both of the last 2 World Outlaws race 1. He broke both of them. He broke fuel pump Saturday night, broke motor last night, won the Dream the week before. Marshall and Shane's really got these capital race cars are amazing. I mean, they've worked hard. They've got them going. Right now, it seems like we're being unstoppable. And
you guys were racing around Rome, North Georgia, and Dixie. So it's not like you're not. I mean, you're going to have to battle some fields when you're there. And with the problems that the Capital race car has, I mean, between you, Casey Roberts, Clanton, who else has got one?
Me, Casey Roberts, Clanton, Dale Thurman, Lamar Haygood, and Jason Cross.
So more than enough information is going back to Marshall and them. Do you feel a part? With your success, do you feel part of what Clanton's done this year? The success that you're having, do you feel like it's played a part? You know, the information you're getting. Certainly, you're gonna you certainly talk to Marshall Green after wins and
on a daily basis. We all with Gary Winger, we all work the same shock package and you know, with the 604 crate motor, it's a little different than what they can run, like Casey or Shane, because they got more horsepower, and so we have to do a little bit of changing. But I'll be honest, we've changed the car twice this year, and it's just, I mean, we come out winning. I mean, it's and not winning. I mean, not being arrogant. We're not winning like by little margins. We're winning by like half tracks. These cars, this is the only car I've ever had that you don't even have to mark the steering wheel to see if it's straight. I mean, you always know where the front end's at.
And now earlier in the season, and it was, I mean, it's just common knowledge. I'm not bringing it up, but you guys got thrown out of a race. Explain to people who may not know the whole story what happened there and what tolerances are.
Well, what happened is we're allowed an inch with 40 thousandths over. And so, of course, we maxed that out, and we ordered a carburetor spacer that was supposed to be legal, you know, but I guess the mold was off, and they checked it hot and aluminum swells, and it went 3 thousandths of an inch too much. That's about the size of a human hair. But, I mean, I'm not blaming that on anybody. That's my fault for not checking it. You know, I ordered it to be right and didn't check it when I got to the shop and got through out of the race. But, I mean, the tech men, I mean, they got to do their job.
Yeah.
If I had run second and that would have happened, I would have probably, you know, tried to pitch a little fit, you know, just because. I mean, we got protested again this weekend after winning, but we was legal.
Only reason I bring it up is just so you can tell that side of the story, because I don't think that went out. All I heard, I think all the 4M crowd heard was you got thrown out or you was cheating. So I just wanted you to explain what.
Yeah, that was it. And the thing is, they checked it hot, aluminum swells. We took it back to the motor shop Monday. It checked perfect. But my fault for letting it be that close. So we had every carburetor spacer we have in the shop, you know, is 100 thousandths to the good now. Which that something like that does not play a difference in like winning or losing a race. But there's a rule on it, and we should have figured it. We should have checked it before it ever went out.
And really, that's, you know, that's refreshing to at least say, okay, the rule is this, and we didn't. So that's pretty good that you just own it. You know, it's no.
Oh yeah, it's not their fault because it's completely my fault. I mean, we just didn't check it. We ordered it, put it on, bolted on, and went to race and got through out on it. But I mean, that's racing. You know, that's how it goes.
Now, are we going to be able to see you at any of the Neesmith shows that they get close to you? Are you going to try to make some of our shows? You know, I've worked with the Neesmith series now.
We're leading the DC Speedway points, and I got good coaching. I got James Green and Marshall Green that's coaching me every week and at the races with me every week. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get me good enough to go on the road and race when they can't make it. that I can make my own calls. And there's a lot of knowledge there that you got to learn. And we're learning that every week. And our goal is to run the Naismith Series next year. You know, and try to get all the information we can this year with them around us and Shane around us, to where we don't make, should say crazy, but we don't get through out over stupid stuff like the carburetor spacer. I mean, you got to be on top of your game when you go for a points championship like, you know, the Naismith Series. You can't take a chance of getting throughout over something that you forgot to check.
That's right. And you know, with all the new coverage that they've got since I've come on board, you know, your sponsors get a lot of TV time if you're you know, making the events. So tell your sponsors that.
All right.
Or you
and I think we'll be competitive because a lot of the Naismith guys that we've run against this year, we've outrun. You know, the car is so good, Webb. I mean, it's the best. I've drove every kind of race car you can drive, and this car is amazing. I mean, it's almost like driving some little sports car Mercedes around the racetrack that you can just steer it anywhere you want it to go.
Well, I'm certainly glad to see you guys finding some success with it. Obviously, happy for Marshall, too.
Casey won last week at Dublin at the Ultimate Series and shattered the track record in a capital car and lapped up to the fifth-place car.
Wow.
And, you know, 0.7 of a second faster than the field. So they've really done their homework. These cars are really amazing. You know, I got good coaching. You know, Marshall always calls and he says, you know, you did a good job driving. And I said, well, he's a big Alabama fan, and I say, well, you know, Alabama sucked till they got Nick Saban. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got good people around me. I got good sponsors. You know, everything's just falling into place.
So let me ask you this question: since he's an Alabama fan, we won't see another Georgia car on the Clanton machine, will we?
Well, I don't know. Clanton's a Georgia fan, so probably will. Him and Marshall kind of aggravate each other about that. So
Roll Tide. I want to see a Roll Tide car. Well, all right. I know you have a list as long as your leg of sponsors to thank. So before we let you get out of here, I want you to thank all your sponsors and also thank the guys that help you get the wins over the weekend.
Well, I would like to thank my crew chief, Mark DeVore. You know, it's right after Father's Day. I'd like to thank my dad. You know, if it wasn't for him, none of this would be possible. You know, I race for a living now, and he helps me and coaches me and helps financially, you know, do that. Adam Morton, which does all my PR and all the, you know, we video camera every race where we can go back and watch them all week and find out where I messed up or what the car did, and that's Fusion Cube technology. Cody McCarver, you know, he just bought me a new crate motor, and he just ordered us some new machines. Just played Riverbend last week. Everything's going good. National Title Point, they really take care of us, keep us in good equipment, good tires. Simpson Race Products, ASI Raceware, Race Tech Race Engines, Bad Boys Graphics, and Schaefer's Oil. Schaefer's Oil has come on board and give us all the oil that we can possibly stand. And ever since we switched over to Schaefer's Oil, the motors run cooler, it's run better. I think that was a big ticket behind behind these wins was switching over to Schaefer's Oil, because these crate motors run so hot on oil temperature that this Schaefer's Oil, I mean, it just makes it run cooler, and that creates more horsepower.
Well, all right, Craig. Well, what's coming up for you guys? And also give the website.
Well, the website is CraigReeseRacing.com, and we will probably Dixie this weekend. I would like to go ahead and get that championship under my belt. We're leading by a pretty good margin, and then aim for the Naismith Series next year.
Well, Craig, we'll be in contact offline for sure. Congratulations, dude, really, for those 2 big wins, the 5 wins on the season, leading in the points there at Dixie. Get you a championship, man. Come see us at Naismith next year.
We'll be there.
All right. Tell Larry said hey.
I will.
All right. See you, Craig. Craig Reese.
See you, buddy.
You guys still there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That show went fast, didn't it?
I guess so.
We only got I only put 90 minutes on the ticker tonight, so we only got 3 minutes left.
Oh, dude, we burned it up every second
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, just about. I didn't even get to play. I got the new. Here at a minute and a half to go. I'm gonna play the DOD commercial for the Cedar Lake pay-per-view. So, oh, what a show! What a show! I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Miss Misty Moore, thank you very much for joining us. Following up your first victory there, Florence, in the Compact Series put on by the Dirt Racing Connection. Robbie Hensley even put in a little bit on that $400 payday for the Compact Series there. I'd like to thank Chris Tilley, the Southern All-Stars, Jim Moon leading the UMP points, Kevin Kovac of World Racing Group, Dirt Car, World Outlaws, UMP, whatever. He wears all them hats. I'd like to thank Craig Reese. I'd like to thank Ross Martin. I thought the Ross Martin interview was really good about the 525.
Not bad, not bad. Where are you headed to, Cal May?
I guess we'll probably go to Fort Payne Motor Speedway this weekend. Try to. I don't know what class we're going to run, because next week they're having a big super late model race, and I'm going to try to make it with my crate motor, I think, and I can't decide if I want to go ahead and run supers this weekend or not. So I'm going to surprise people, I guess.
Well, that being said, we'll see y'all